one of the best things that's happening this year and last year. I'm part of a couple of organizations like the ASEC, the Association of Startup Enablers, where we're seeing more women in leadership. So there's a lot of hubs and accelerators across Kenya and Africa at large, which are now providing access to entrepreneurship opportunities and support to startups and women, any woman running a business or men, etc. So we have more hubs, which means access to funding and training opportunities, which means more ideas can come to life. So women participating in this kind of support is great. And then we're seeing support from government from the policy side. So it started about 10 years ago with the Women Fund, but now we're seeing more VCs coming in with dedicated funding for women. Access to funding has always been a bottleneck for women, but nowadays it's packaged as access to funding and the training, which is a great opportunity to bring women from lack of know-how to more know-how, to exposure and to great things. I'm inspired by stories from the West, like the leader from Canva. I think she's a lady, and she's managing such a great ecosystem, and that shines also a brighter light for what things we can aspire to. $1 billion is suddenly looking like a reality because you can trace her steps of how she got there. Nowadays, we have more women communities. You can find them easily either on meetup.com or local innovation hubs, which have events pages. And these communities, I was lucky when I was in leadership, the senior leaders who managed me always plugged me into a support group. For example, when I was a chief of operations in some company, I was in a chief of operations group. We have the Women in Tech Network in Kenya, which is great. We have the Women in Security Network, which I'm also part of, which is great. And what's happening here is they're pushing us to practice our skills. They're pushing us to showcase our skills. They're pushing us to share opportunities and get access to opportunities. And then also learning opportunities that are available. So most of the time we speak in events, we don't know that you can go to speak in an event and get paid. Things like that where someone opens your eyes to what is possible. And when someone does it who is closer to you, you get more encouraged and motivated. And so those are the things I'm seeing that are really working. Closer to home here at Qhala, we have a great women network here because this company is majority women, I guess. And so I love to see how we work with each other with different skills. I might be great at building, but maybe I'm not great at the UX part. So there's a great UXer who can show me the ropes. So there's also a top-down and bottom-up approach in terms of exchanging skills and narratives. We have a great CEO from Chico who nurtures us through mentorship and providing us with leadership opportunities. So she sends us out to speak about stuff. That's usually the scary stuff. But when she's pushing us to do that, she's pushing us to be exposed to new opportunities. And if we can pay it back by encouraging the women in our teams to do the same. So not always taking up all the opportunities for ourselves.